it all the time. I don't want to do he paints his fingernails and cries to his mama to be my number one pick. But Jaden Daniels absolutely just killing it. Rookie of the year. Bo Nix, strong second. But now getting a playoff win on the road versus the Bucks. My question is how do you think as bad as like the thing I just keep thinking back to when I think of Caleb Williams and I think of Jaden Daniels is how that one Hail Mary seemed to change the trajectory of both teams. And it was, it's just wild how, once that happened, it's like the Washington Redskins took off and then the Chicago Bears went straight into the tank.
Yeah, and I mean, look, the season's full of many plays. Some are more impactful than others. That was obviously a massive one. That was a huge, momentum play. But I think, and listen, I like Caleb as a player. I think he inherited a situation at Chicago that's not nearly as stable as the one in Washington. I never thought I would say that about the Redskins, but Dan Snyder isn't there anymore. But I just think Jaden Daniels has a little more to him, man. And this is why I said he was the best quarterback in the draft class last year. And everybody kept saying, oh, well, you're not going to be able to just run like that. And you had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. Well, guess what? There's really great receivers in the NFL. And you went to a place that has some guys that can go make some plays. Terry McLaurin is a bucket, absolute bucket. You got guys around you. You got a running game. You have structure. You have stability, right? You're insulated somewhat. So I look at Jaden Daniels, and my biggest question was his ability to not get hurt because of the way he ran in college. He tried to run in college like he was Josh Allen's size. Well, they obviously got to him, and he's a much smarter runner now. He's taking care of himself. He understands that, yes, I'm an elite athlete, but as a runner, but he's also a very natural thrower of the ball. He's able to attack all three levels. He's able to throw the fastball. He's able to throw the changeup. And at the end of the day, he's just got that dog in him. Like, you can't, maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. There ain't no maybes with this guy. He was born with it. Some are just different. So when I look at Jaden, he's the total package. His maturation process, his ability to go on the road, and even when they went down, the moment wasn't too big for him. I mean, just think, you had a missed pass interference call on fourth down in the red zone the drive before. You go back out there, they don't blink an eye, and he's able to, I know they got it at the 15, but he's able to make a play on fourth down with his arms. And the scary part about Jaden Daniels is he's only going to get better. Like, this isn't one of those accidental mistakes, in one game, like Tim Tebow in the playoff game for Denver, where he's closing his eyes and throwing it, and somehow, Heaven's Army helps it move through three defenders, and it's caught. Jaden Daniels is out there going through his reads. He's playing quarterback. He's a passer, not a thrower, that just so happens to be in a runner's body. It's incredible to watch.
Ravens-Bills is the one I'm really excited about next week.
Cool.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. It's in Buffalo. They played, I think, back in week 4. Baltimore laid it on them. Who you like, and who's your MVP?
Well, look, man, I think there's logical answers on both sides of this. As far as who I like in the game, I mean, the Bills are at home, right? I mean, we saw what happened in the college football playoff with the home teams. We've seen what's happened in the playoff, the NFL playoffs with the home team. Outside of the Buccaneers, every home team has won. So it's hard not to lean on the Bills. What scares me about the Bills is the red zone. Even against the Broncos, they got in there 5 times. They got stymied. They were able to possess the ball against Denver for 41 minutes to the Broncos 18. That's not going to happen against the Ravens. So who do I trust more? Well, I'll trust Josh Allen because it's in Buffalo, and he's not playing against Patrick Mahomes. We've seen Lamar in the playoffs. Last year it was him trying to throw the ball 80 times. I like the way the Ravens came out early against Pittsburgh, and like the first 4 plays, Lamar just took off, whether that was on the zone read, whether that was on the RPO, and that opened so much up for Derrick Henry. But as much as we're going to talk about Josh Allen and the Bills offense, as much as we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense, the defenses are what is going to decide this game. And when you look at the way that Baltimore has played lately on defense, I mean, they've had one of the top defenses in the league. I mean, just go back. You give up 14 against Pittsburgh, 10 against Cleveland, 2 against Houston, 17 against Pittsburgh, 14 against New York, 24 against Philly, 23 against the Chargers. So if they can keep it under 24, I think the Ravens win this game. Right now, I'm leaning the Bills because I got to take the home team. That's how close it is. As far as the MVP, what I hate about this conversation is when they're like, well, he hasn't won an MVP, so let's just give it to him. That's not what the award's about. Who had the best year between the two? There's a logical argument. I would lean Lamar right now.
Man, he is Jake Crane, and I appreciate your time so much. He just had a beautiful baby girl. He's got his own show to get prepared for. Wish I could talk to him for another 2 hours because he has the best takes in the world. But again, he's got his own stuff to deal with. Tell me what you got coming down the pipe this week.
Oh, man, I mean, we're so deep into the NFL and college football, a little bit of college basketball, too. You know, we're kind of an old-school sports show. We don't just yell at each other the whole time, but we don't agree on a lot. You know, we're very interactive in the chat. We have live calls. Crane and Company, C-R-A-I-N, and Company. Obviously, I know y'all know how to spell that. Go live at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you can't catch us live, stays on demand. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Daily Wire, Roku, a lot of other platforms I'm not smart enough to know. And just appreciate y'all having me. And nobody believes Queen Latifah can be the equalizer.
He is Jake Crane, man. Be blessed. Have a great one, homie, and congratulations.
All right, buddy. See ya.
That is Jake, and I'm telling you, Crane & Company's rocks. I'm already late for a break. Did want to tell you one quick thing, though. It's 11:30. It's been a busy, busy weekend. Football. Little Tigers basketball action squeezed in there. Man, maybe after this weekend, you're like, dang, I'm hungry. What about Los Cabos? Right there at Summer and Graham from 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You heard that right. Lunch specials, daily. $7 to $11 lunches. How you like that now? Man, it's so good. It's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Plus, they have happy hour 3 to 8 daily. One of the biggest bars ever. They always got sports on. They got the TVs where I like them. Los Cabos, where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Right there near Summer and Graham. We're going to be back in 2 shakes. We got Terry Davis. Time to talk a little Tiger basketball right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one in Jaguar Land Rover, Bluff City.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, it's happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off meal drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and pretzels, mozzarella sticks, queso, $4 a day. Friday night lights from 7 to 11. Dine in and buy grill wings, they buy rate wings for free. I'll watch college football and every pro game. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, fall is football.
Jenkins Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Whitman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Happy Monday, everybody. Wild card weekend. That was fun. That was fun. It's a very emotional roller coaster. Man, Thursday I got kicked to the curb, stood up, kicked back, got up and went like Khabib Nurmagomedov all over some people's faces on Friday. Got kicked in the junk on Saturday.
You know he fights Saturday, right?
Came back and, Saturday really wasn't all that bad. I ended up basically breaking even. But, I had a super high, and I thought I was going to win a ton. And then
Oh, okay. Understood.
And then Sunday came back and destroyed it. Oh, but I did make a great comeback. I forgot. Drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk. I'm not saying that. I'm just, sometimes, after... Have you ever woken up and looking at your little gambling, your settled bets to be like, how did I where'd this money come from? And you're like, did I really play those crazy overseas basketball games at 1 a.m? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Very successful. But it was a wild weekend, and we're going to talk a little bit of hoops because we've been talking football all morning long. But the Tigers survived. This is a team that,
They're a good team, John.
They're a very good team.
They're not great because they don't cover.
No, that one hurt, but
very bad.
I know you felt like you had it in the first half, didn't you?
Of course.
Man, you're like, man, this game's going to be
of course.
cakewalk.
They do it every time.
Man, they came
But we'll
out,
take the win, though, right?
Man, they came out with we got the win, but we do need to talk a little bit about the turnovers and how different this team is when they're not hitting their three-pointer, and we got the man to do it. We got Terry Davis. What up, TD?
What up, my brother? How was your weekend other than your gambling?
It ended up being great. I slept like a baby last night. Very, very happy today. I'm looking forward to the Vikings and the Rams tonight. But outside of that, I had a lot of fun, man. There's snow on the ground, Tito's in the bar. A lot of people were coming over and hanging out, doing a little snow day partying and cooking. So, yeah, it was a damn good weekend.
Yeah, that's good to hear, my brother. Good to hear.
How was yours?
Man, peaceful. Friday, I took a break from everybody. I didn't leave the house. I just took back and watched the football game and watched Texas choke up like Tennessee. So it was pretty good.
Well, are you okay from your loss, by the way? I know that you're a huge Steelers fan.
I'm telling you, man, I cheer for the team, win, lose, or draw. I don't care if we get beat by 30 or win by 30. It's the same every time. I enjoy watching my team play. I don't get that emotional when they lose.
Well, before I get all into the basketball, I did want to ask you, though, you saw how nasty Baltimore was. That was kind of wicked what they did. I mean, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was just running roughshod on them boys. Lamar Jackson was doing his business. Ravens dropped him 28-14. The score is not really indicative of that game. There was a great third quarter by the Steelers, but outside of that, Ravens just dominated. Do you think Ravens can they go on the road and beat the Bills in this coming up weekend?
The winner of the Buffalo-Baltimore game, in my opinion, going to the Super Bowl, period.
Damn, man, you hadn't even, they got to go through Kansas City and that bad man, Pat Mahomes, right?
I know the schedule. I didn't study.
All right. Winner of this.
I'm with you, Terry D.
All right. We'll definitely look back at this one. I'll remember because I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. I can't sit there and count Pat out.
How often do I steer you astray?
Not very often.
And when I tell you what I tell you about the Tiger basketball team, enjoy them. Don't bet on them. Don't bet on Tigers or Grizzlies. I keep telling people that because too much emotion involved. Don't just sit back and enjoy it and watch them go to the second weekend.
Well, that's what we're all hoping for again. You can talk about how great of a season. Just look at the NFL. Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert had great regular seasons, and what they did in the playoffs is what we remember. Now, my question is Memphis will definitely forget this East Carolina game down the stretch because a win is a win is a win. But are you a little bit nervous when they turn the ball over so much, it's not even funny. In fact, they're the only team in the top 25 that doesn't have they're the only team in the top 25 with a negative turnover ratio.
But you got to look at it, too. Also, the style of play that they play similar to the Grizzlies. They play up and down. They make a lot of turnovers, but they force a lot of turnovers, too. And sometimes, you know, you got to look at the totality of. You got to look at their net turnovers. Their net turnovers is still bad, but it's not as bad as it is because of the possessions they got.
It's the
Because
worst
they're
in
one
the
of the
top
highest
25 by
scoring
far.
They're one of the highest scoring teams in the top 25. If you look at their games, their games is always in the 70s and the 80s. You look at something like Tennessee and other places, their games are the 40s and the 50s. So they have less possessions to turn the ball over. So
Yeah.
you look at, if you do like the NBA model, you do a per 100 possessions, it's not as bad as you think it is.
But see, I don't want this to bite them in the rear when they need it most, like in the tournament. Look, Easy E back in the day, he was, he was scoring like it was going out of style. But remember, all scoring ain't the same score, and that's why Easy had to die.
Okay, if you look at the turnovers when they playing teams they're comparable to, the turnovers go down tremendously. When they playing teams they're inferior to, that's when it goes up.
What do you think about the fact that also, like, it kind of gives me a little bit, it makes me nervous. This team, when they are hitting threes and getting up and down the court, they look unstoppable. PJ Haggerty getting to the line. When they don't hit threes, it gets bad. Like, it looks ugly.
It does look ugly, but the object of the game, you play to win the game. You know, their metrics is not pretty, and the computers hate
Thank you,
Memphis.
Jim Mora.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, I'd rather win ugly than to lose pretty.
I'm with you.
At the end of what you do, you survive the bands. You know, what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to have a few 30-point blowout wins. You know, to help their computer numbers, because like I said, the computers hate Memphis for some reason. You know, I don't know how they got these metrics set up, but the computers hate Memphis, and because they should not be in the they should be in the top 20 in net with their schedule. And I think they got to get through this next 2 or 3 weeks period. You know, if they can go on they're currently on a 4-game winning streak. If they can push that up to like 10, then I think everybody will be good, because that'll pretty much seal their deal regardless of what happens the rest of the season.
I don't think the computers are going to help the Tigers out going forward much either, because, again, they had, according to some people's metrics, one of the top 10 most difficult non-com schedules in the country. But, again, once that regular season, so the computers are not going to like them any better.
The way you make the computers like you is do this right here. You go out to when you play a Charlotte, after you play a Temple.
Destroy them.
Destroy them. You beat them by 20, 25, 30 points. And then the computer says, oh, this team must be pretty good. They beat this team by 25, 30 points. They don't look at the name of Charlotte. They just look about how many you win by.
All right. So how you think, how's Penny feeling right now? How's the team feeling? What'd you learn?
I think he's pretty good, because he's in a really good situation, because, last week, he didn't have to play his guys as many minutes. And I know a few people complained about, he playing too many people, but he's trying to get
you got to get
guys.
them legs. We heard Tyrese Hunter even come out of his mouth that he feels that he could play better if he had more rest and could get his legs underneath him.
Right, but you just gotta realize Memphis has a real funky schedule. The last game they played before Saturday was last Saturday, and I think after this week, and in the next game is 5 days later from Saturday to Sunday. Then from there on, they play Thursdays and Sundays, which will get them more in the rhythm. Then I think they'll start getting in the groove, and they can get their continuity back with what they need.
All right, man. Tigers. And again, this is no shot. I understand. I went downtown on Saturday, but dude, that place was empty. Did you know, if you were one of the people who bought like those $18 nosebleed seats, did you know you would have been down in the lower bowl because they just wouldn't let anybody even go up there? It was closed.
Exactly. It was perfect. It was perfect. They shut off. It actually looked pretty good from the stadium port. Even though it was 10,000 people in there, they shut off the upper bowl, put the curtains up, and it brought everybody close, and it felt more intimate.
I'm glad they did that, but I still want more peeps out there.
I'm not. I've been singing this song for the last 2 or 3 years.
What song?
They talk a lot, but they don't back it up with the NIL money or going to games. They're just social media bullies. You know what I mean? They just talk about how bad the team is and how bad they look and how bad Penny is coaching or his substitution patterns. But if you really want to support this team, go down there and support this team, because this team is really, really good.
Damn right it is. And plus, I love all the peeps on it. I hate to say, man, this is going to sound so terrible. But like, there ain't nobody like Malcolm Dandridge on this team that just drives me absolutely crazy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. All these kids are
Or
really good.
JQ.
And you got to realize some of these kids going to be back next year. PJ has the opportunity to come back next year if he wants to.
Man, I hope he does. Mr. Carter,
And
I hope so.
Unlike some
Clark.
players from last team, these players are not getting on Penny's nerve, if you know what I mean.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they seemed hey, look, man, Tigers, let's go Tigers. Got the dub, that's all that mattered. Had too many turnovers, scared me. Glad that my man made his free throws. PJ Haggerty, thank you. Because if this was a loss, man, it would have just been so annoying the rest of that damn Saturday. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And right now we in survive in advance mode. They got a tough game coming up this Thursday in Temple. But if they can get past Temple, then they have a relative breather down in Charlotte. They can knock those off. They'll make 6 in a row. Then they come back home and play Wichita State. You can knock off 7 in a row, and you can beat 3 of those teams by at least a combined of 20, 35 points. Your metrics will get a whole lot better. But it doesn't matter because Joe Lenardi and all the other guys, they look at what they got. And the seeding right now is 4, 5, 6, which is what Memphis wants right now. You want a top 6 seed going into the tournament.
Now, I've been talking tons about the Tigers, but I do need to talk a little bit about the Grizzlies. And by the way, they're going to go to Philadelphia, just so you know, and they're going to slap Temple. That is not going to be a tough game. They go out there and they handle their business. But not only Tripp, but, dude, what about my man Jaws being back?
Ja is the stir that the stick that stirs the pot.
Stirs the cocktail that has Tito's in it.
Yeah, but Jaren Jackson Jr., he is the meat. He is the stew. He's doing what he needs to do. When Ja's not performing, JJ said, look, give it to me. I'll put it on my back. I'll put my cape on and go out there and do it. This guy went out there and destroyed him. And you know what else? My man Anthony Edwards, he got silenced by the rookie.
Man, so
Mr.
you just
Wells,
love Jalen. I was going to say, is Jalen Wells the best rookie right now so far in the NBA? I think he's had the best season so far.
I told you I'm biased. I think he's the rookie of the year, but I'm biased. But the big cities don't like him because he do all the little stuff. He's still averaging 10 points a game, but he's one of the lockdown defenders, not just rookie defenders, but total defenders. If the Memphis continue to win like he is, this guy might make an all-defensive team, man. That's how good he's been playing.
Well, I mean, he's won a Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I just went from Tripp back to Jalen. I meant, month. But I also went to from Jaren Jackson Jr. I went back to Jaren Jackson Jr. because, how my ADHD works.
I know how you work. I know you work.
My brain, it's just different. But, man, that was a huge, huge win by the Grizzlies. Again, Tripp's doing awesome. Jalen Wells don't play no games. He is legit. How you feeling right now where Grizzlies are? But what is it? What do you think? I mean, if they can stay healthy, and can they stay healthy, they can go, the sky's the limit.
People get on me all the time because I'm one of the few people in town that appreciate what Marcus Smart brings to this program. And
yes,
I told once Santi got back, this team will be a whole lot better. Santi's back. He's giving his 10 and 10, and he's like the man that leads the second unit. And once we get Marcus back, I keep telling people we only need Marcus for the playoffs. If Marcus gets us past the second round of the playoffs, everything he's done has been worth it. But he's really here for the playoffs. If the Grizzlies stay healthy, you know what the ceiling is. And I tell you, if they stay healthy, you know what the floor is. The floor is the second round. That's the floor.
Man, I'm hoping you're right. I just need everybody to make it to the playoffs healthy. I mean, it just feels like,
and even if everybody don't make the playoffs healthy, you just need the right people to be healthy. You know what I mean?
Next game they play, though, with the Rockets, they got to go to the Rockets' crib. Rockets, by the way, got them in Ja's debut. Dylan the Villain was back in the crib. They won 119-115. Getting ready to go on the road. That game is tonight. What you think about?
Tonight.
Can they return the favor and go beat the Rockets on their home court?
They will return the favor, beat the Rockets on their home court, and they come back here in 2 weeks. And I think they'll tie the season series up 4-4 because right now they're one game behind the Rockets. And I think it's going to be them and the Rockets for second place again. And if Memphis returns back to the second place at the end of the year, because the NBA is not looking at Memphis now. They're not going to look at Memphis until after the All-Star break. Because right now we pretty much we're about 5 games short of being on the halfway point. It don't even seem like it, but the halfway point of the season is almost upon us. And in 4 weeks, the All-Star game will be in San Francisco. So hopefully we'll have
The All-Star weekend is going to be so dumb this year. It's already become trash, but they're doing that stupid that All-Star game little thing they're doing is just, I don't know, man.
But you don't go to the All-Star game for the game. You go for the Tito's.
That is true. That is true. Just seeing
You go for the parties, man. You go for all the extracurricular stuff that goes on with the All-Star game.
Yeah, but it's still sad to me that this game is just the All-Star weekend has just become nothing.
It is. Wait a minute, Johnny. When the last time you went to All-Star weekend?
No, I haven't been in
You know what? Go to an All-Star weekend.
decade.
Experience the All-Star weekend. If you want to see your favorite players in the NBA, you just go out. You will get a chance to see them. You go to the Rising Stars game. It is something to be done every time. It is very fan friendly, if you know what I mean.
As boring as San Antonio is, are you excited and ready to go have some fun? Because I know you'll be there.
Be where? San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
I used to cover the Spurs, so I know San Antonio. I know the ins and outs of San Antonio. So it's not as bad to me as it would be for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Riverwalk's basically all they got. I'm like, ah.
Oh, no, it's not, Johnny. Johnny, hey, I can take you some place, and you said, man, San Antonio got this. Trust me.
All
you
right.
just got to know what trees to climb in, John.
All right, TD. I got you. All right, tonight,
Ain't
Grizzlies.
so often. You just got to know what trees to climb into.
I'm with you. And I know you got me. That's why I'm also going to go to Brazil with you. Now, Grizzlies tonight, he said do not take the 3.5 points. Grizzlies money line. They return the favor. Grizzlies win against the Rockets tonight. That's me and TD put together.
And
that's our bet.
Trip plus 20. I tell you, if you're a gambling man, which I'm not, you just bet 2 bets all night long. If you're going to bet Grizzlies over and Trip over 20. Every time. If you put $5 every night at the end of the year, you'll come out with a nice little vacation package.
Man, that's TD giving some gambling advice, man. Then I got one more, man. Vikings, Rams tonight. Who you got?
Since it's on a neutral field, and I think the Vikings are a better team, I would take the Vikings money line.
I'm scared with Sam Darnold, man. Last time I watched him on Sunday Night Football, my goodness.
On the outside, it always bails them out. You got that running back in the back that always bails them out. You got that defense. It is not just a one-man show with Sam Darnold. They not putting the keys in him. They spread the wealth around.
All right, man. He says take the Vikings on the money line. They're currently a 2.5 point favorite. I'll look at the money line. It's probably minus 150. What do you think? That's what I'm thinking. You don't know. Never mind. Terry Davis, follow him at Terry D515. Reeve work is the new Tri-State Defender, and always listen to him right here on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week, my friend.
Hey, John and TD, I got a marriage question for Terry Davis quick.
Yeah.
Terry D.
Yo.
Is the marriage over between Tomlin and the Steelers before you get out of here?
Hey, man, ain't nothing like true love, my brother, and they going to be together until death do them part.
Got that?
Damn. Till death do you part. They need to get a quarterback over in Pittsburgh. I can tell you that, TD.
They need a wide receiver, not a quarterback. You get a wide receiver, you good. You don't need a quarterback. You good.
Pickens
you need
gone?
a couple wide receivers. Huh?
Is Pickens going to be gone?
No, Pickens not going to be gone. They're going to add something to him because they were trying to do that all year, but they just couldn't get it done.
Tyreek.
Tyreek will be great.
Oh my goodness. Y'all go have the rest of y'all's Monday. Enjoy yourselves. That is Terry Davis. Thanks for your time. We got to take a quick time out again. Grizzlies on the road playing Houston right now, catching 3.5 points. But we're going to switch gears. We got to talk a whole lot of football. That's next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom-made solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and
sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for the lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about the world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lake's Delta Ray's catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square. Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Monday, and we got football. We also got some Grizz on the road playing the Rockets. Rockets dropped us in the crib. Now it's time to go return the favor. They're catching 3.5 tonight on the road. They're also just behind the Rockets 4 now. The Grizzlies are in third place. Rockets now in second place. Big game tonight, man. Plus, we got Vikings at the Rams. You know, you can catch all the action right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. I am fired up for a little wild card weekend action to close down. And speaking of the NFL, we got some news. We got some teams out there are broken, like Darian's fingers today.
Yes.
We got right now, I don't know if you've heard, firing in Big D.
I don't know. That's what I just told Dakis. Is it a firing? His contract ends tomorrow, so.
Well, they're not going to, okay.
They ain't bringing him back.
I mean, they wouldn't let him go talk to the Bears, and then
that was petty there.
And now they're not going to re-sign him.
I thought they was being petty.
So basically, I don't know. I call not getting picked up fired.
You're fired.
Like, let's just be real. Like, hey, yeah, you can't go talk to another team. You're an a-hole. Don't like you. Cherry Jones, I'm just a crazy lunatic. And plus, Karma's a bad. Like, I don't want the Big D job. And it's for one simple thing.
I don't think anybody does, John.
Karma is a bitch you don't want to mess with. I promise you. And Jerry Jones has been messing with Karma so much it's not funny. Like, to let Cooper Rush sit on the bench in the last game when my man needed 2 drives to get his bonus is so petty for a billionaire. So petty. He was at 54.2% of the snaps. If he had 55% of the snaps, his bonus kicked in.
How much was it? Do you know?
It was over $500,000.
What? And that's huge for Cooper.
Yeah, that's huge for him. And Jerry Jones, that's pocket change, man. Like, just the Dallas Cowboys, I think they said are what, $6.8 billion?
No,
or
$9
$9 billion. See, man,
sir.
I lost some damn money. I lost a few billion.
You lost a few billion.
You know, my bad, just a couple billion here and there. But man, I don't know, man. I just he is out in Big D. Who's going to take that bad boy? I have no idea. But they do got their man in New England. You saw Mike Vrabel is taking the job. I think he's going to be
great.
Yeah, like really, really good there. I really, really do. And by the way, there's also, like, I mean, Mike Vrabel, by the way, I mean, Patriot legend. You know that, right? I mean, just,
of course, sir.
I mean, damn, just a pimp. But there's also one of the funniest things. Like, did you know that Mike Vrabel has 10 career receptions? Did you know that?
Remember I should have known that. I should have known that.
When they take him out from the defense and they put him in, and guess what? All 10 career receptions were for touchdowns. Every single one of them. I love seeing Vrabel when he would come in the game back in the day.
Did he report?
Oh, he always did.
Make sure he reports.
Always reported, baby.
Shout out Detroit Lions.
Man, yeah, they did. The most popular person in all of, like, the linemen in football is was the big dude that always, Big Dan Skipper, who comes in for the Detroit Lions.
Sometimes
he's not even the starter.
Report.
He's when they play the extra big package. That's what she said. But, man. Oh, by the way, Lions. I guess you know the schedule. Jaden Daniels now, after that big win, he's now got to go on the road to Detroit next round. It's going to be a good game, actually. I mean, Detroit, what they did to Minnesota, Aaron Glenn, the defense that he was like, I know Alex Anzalone came back, but still, damn. Like, their safety and Anzalone were the only two dudes that were day one starters. Aaron Glenn had them, like, went single coverage on Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and made the pocket chaotic for Sam Darnold, and they looked amazing. But I don't know if you can play that way because guess what? Sam Darnold's a statue in there. Jaden Daniels is a damn running fool who keeps his eyes down the field. Rookie of the year. Went on the road, man, beat the Bucks, man.
I thought Rookie of the Year would have been tighter, too. But after that win yesterday, you have to give it to him.
Bo Nix had a hell of a season.
It's not just Bo. It's Bowers and Neighbors.
Nobody's going to give it to Brock. He broke the record for rookie receptions at a tight end. I think it was, like 107, some crazy-ass number.
Neighbors was tough, too, in the Giants, too.
Malik Neighbors, please. It's the Giants. Nobody's watching the damn Giants.
He had over 100 catches with nobody.
If a tree falls in the woods, does anybody hear it?
Timber.
That's Giants football.
I know. So, yeah, he wrapped it up. Poor Caleb Williams just looking.
It's crazy, man. That damn Hail Mary, Bears, Washington, remember? Bears were killing it. Commanders were just finding themselves, and the trajectory of the seasons went two totally different routes. Jaden Daniels, 2 touchdowns last night, as the Commanders beat the Bucks. And that damn fumble, man. Why are you timing pattern? Like, you got to snap the ball exactly right, turn around and get that. Baker Mayfield puts it on his damn hip. Fumble. Commanders 23-20. We're talking more NFL on the other side. Do me a favor. Not only are we talking about that, who hit up Sidney Thomas in the SEC? That and more on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
High-energy, full-body workout that utilizes the same equipment and technology employed by Floyd Mayweather to achieve his impressive 50-0 record. The workout features 4 types of heavy bags, treadmills, rows, battle ropes, weights, and much more. Visit Mayweather Boxing and Fitness, located at 2257 North Germantown Parkway in Cordova. Train like a champ. Mayweather Boxing and Fitness. 901-673-1267.
When you're working outdoors, unpredictability is the norm. So take on the toughest jobs with 2025 Honda Pioneer Side-by-Sides and running side-by-side horsepower to keep ready with reliable torque utility and smooth shifting for trails. And you can choose between 3 trails, standard, deluxe, or the Trinity First Edition. Built to handle adventures. See the 2025 Honda Pioneer Side on your typical sale Honda 5657 Road in Ranch.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis, with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
That was one of those things, when things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I hope you had a good weekend, man. Hope most of y'all had a good, like, little extra 3-day weekend. Hopefully you were chilling Friday, didn't have to go to work, got to sit back, relax, enjoy your Tito's, get ready for that Texas-Ohio State game. Hopefully you took Ohio State. How about that? What a great weekend of football. We're going to talk a lot of NFL action right here, but I do need to remind you, this whole hour is brought to you by the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. It is America's favorite vodka, and it's for a reason. Because, well, it's the best. It is literally just right. 6 times distilled, then stilled in small batch classic copper pots, old school method. Makes it slightly sweet with that black pepper note. It balances everything out. You can be crafting a cocktail. You can be drinking it neat. You can make a martini. You can make a white Russian, put a little Kahlua and some milk in there. Boy, you should have seen Chaz this weekend. Lord. I got home from work on Friday, and there was...
Had a surprise waiting on you?
Half a gallon of milk was gone. And my Tito's was just smacked. And she was lit up like a Christmas tree. She just had that. She had that snow glow. You know what I'm saying?
Like Rudolph.
Man, it was great. It was a wonderful weekend. And again, make sure when you go with a spirit to, bring a little spirit around your life, make sure it's always the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Now, NFL action. I got so much NFL to get to. It's not even funny. But I got to start with the bad first.
Uh-oh.
And the bad was Justin Herbert. Like,
Vetty.
Holy hell. What was that? I mean, damn, Justin. So, did you have money on that game?
Yeah, I took Houston, sir.
4 interceptions? And listen, you got to give it, a little tip of the cap. The Texans, their defense was unbelievable. Shocker. I really, really am totally. I mean, this is a Texans team that got in with like the worst damn record. And I don't know if you know this. They played in the worst division in football. The worst division in football. Dude, the Titans are straight booty. They had 3 wins. The Jacksonville Jags are trash, 4 wins. And the Colts, who went 8-9, still had a losing record, and that was the second best team, and they had a negative 50-point differential. Yeah, that AFC South, worst division in football. And the other thing is, think about it, the Texans this year, they scored 372 points, and they gave up 372 points. Like, they didn't even have a plus-minus. It's just 0. And I thought they had 0 chance.
It's just a 0.
I just thought they had 0 chance to actually make any deadgum noise in the playoffs. I really did. I thought the Chargers with Jim, didn't you think Jim was going to write that? I mean, Brandon Staley wasn't coaching. This isn't the Jags, same team that lost a 27-0 halftime playoff game against the Jaguars. That Chargers team did that. I thought this team was going to be different. I thought, they do have big names on defense.
They're still the Clippers of L.A., though, John.
They do need some wide receivers, I can tell you that much. Ladd McConkey's going to be good, but he's all they got. 32-12? That was an ass whipping. And it was basically an ass whipping because, holy cow, Justin Herbert had the worst game of his career. Most interceptions, worst QBR, worst completion percentage. Completed 44% of his passes, was 14 for 32 for 242, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. God. And I don't know if you remember, because it feels like so long ago, because the beatdown came and it came fast. But that game opened up with 2 really, 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 really nice drives. By who? That would be the Chargers. Opened up the game, 10-play, 60-yard drive. They ate up 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Got a field goal. And then all of a sudden, if I remember this correctly, didn't Houston fumble the ball right off the jump? Yep. Houston's offense started off terrible. Guess who got a field goal? That would be the Chargers. So it's like 6-0. Texans have done nothing. Texans could do nothing. This is how their day started for the Texans. It started 1-play field goal. 1-play fumble, down 6-0, and then it was punt, punt, punt. interception, punt. Then guess what happened? C.J. Stroud ran the damn football. All of a sudden, with just a few minutes left, the Texans take control. Like they had first down and 10 all the way back. All the way back on the other side of the field. And man, C.J. Stroud, I don't ever see that dude run. Did you see that big run that he had? And
of course.
And then after that, did they make another mistake? Did they do nothing but dominate? I felt like they just dominated after that big run. I mean, Houston, all of a sudden, it's 6-0. They erase that, and they go up 10-6 at half. I mean, the Chargers, you felt when it was 7-6, we're about to take the ball down the field and go kick a field goal. They have Dicker the kicker. They went 3 and out, punted the ball back to Houston, and then they go down the field with just a few seconds and kick a field goal. Now it's 10-6, and then the wheels just fell off. Justin Herbert was so bad. Like I'm just, we talk about how this guy's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's so big. It's never been his fault. Look at him in the regular season. Big arm. I mean, everything. I mean, he can do everything. He's got all the gifts. All the gifts. But man, in the playoffs, like, he's terrible. And the thing that's so crazy to me is you just think about the Chargers. Justin Herbert era has been just filled with disappointment. Phillip Rivers era, they never got to the big game. And Phillip Rivers was a stud. LT, Antonio Gates, like they always had those dudes, and they could just never get it done in the playoffs. And they still can't. They ain't got nothing done since Stan Humphries and Natron Means played for the Chargers.
Come on, somebody.
Since Junior Seau was up in that junt.
Little Marty Schottenheimer action, right?
Marty body ball. But, man, this was the 6th pick, the Chargers, back in 2020, and everybody said he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I will tell you, his regular season stats were ridiculous. 23 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, 3,800 yards. He had the 11th best QBR in football. Like, you look at his advanced metrics, they're ridiculous. But, my goodness, this man in the postseason, 27 halftime lead. 27-0. Nothing in the halftime. They lose to the Jacksonville Jags. Did not do anything. He went that game, when you go back to 2020, when they blew that joint. Looked good in the first half. Second half, no. He only had 1 touchdown in that game. But in the second half, my man went...
Shrinkage.
Like yes, shrinkage. And then yesterday, 4 interceptions. He has now, in the postseason, is completing 52% of his passes, 6.9 yards per pass, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 7 sacks. Just not.
What's their record? 0-2?
0-2.
0-2, right? Yep.
Mm-hmm. He had a bad day. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love Jim Harbaugh. After the game, I'm going to worry. The sun's going to come up tomorrow, and we're going to attack the day with enthusiasm unknown to mankind.
Unknown to mankind.
Heard that a few times, Jim. And I get it. And he did say some crazy stuff like this was his favorite team ever. This was his favorite season. Guess he's that happy coming off that. Maybe he still has that natty championship high. But damn, it was a good regular season. You made the playoffs. Then you went out there and embarrassed yourself. I mean, I still can't believe, honestly, with that. I mean, that was...
I've never seen you for a loss of words. You're like you're at a loss of words on this
I am just... the first game, I loved the Chargers -3. The Texans, by the way, no Tank Dell. Well, it was no problem. C.J. Stroud went out there and went 22 for 33 for 282 and just had a huge run. And Nico Collins, what can you say about Nico Collins? Like, my goodness. Nico's like, man, we ain't got nobody else, no problem. Just throw me the damn ball. 7 receptions, 122 yards, a big touchdown. Hell, only had 8 targets, pulled 7 of them in. I mean, John Mechie, I guess, was like their second wide receiver. Or Cade Stover. Like, come on now.
I think they got Robert Woods as well, too, right?
Yeah. Did he do anything in that
No, he
game?
didn't. No, Woods is on the back end of it.
I mean, you got Dalton Schultz, but I mean, Nico and Dalton, Mechie. And they go out there and blow the Chargers out of the water. After the Chargers had a good start. 10-play drive, 6 minutes, field goal. First play from the Texans, fumble, bing, bang, boom. Got the ball back, get another field goal, 6-0. Life's good. Go all the way. What was it? I think there was about, 3 minutes and change in the second quarter. Texans got him backed the bleep up. I mean, they had him backed up. Bam. Nico Collins. He's the man. And the Texans got I just don't know what the Chargers do. Like, they really got to look at themselves in the mirror and figure something out.
I would change quarterbacks.
I can't go that far. I mean, damn, it is.
I don't like him, John. I've never liked him as a quarterback.
Dude, he's a regular season superstar.
I've never liked him as a quarterback. I don't like his body language. None of that. His body language screams is not my fault. It's not Jay Cutler bad, but
he ain't pouty faced Jay.
Yeah. That's why I just cleared it up. He's not Jay Cutler bad, but I mean they're the Clippers,
does almost
man.
Look like he's like
yes. Come on, Judge. Yes.
Oh.
Take the gloves off. You never keep the gloves on.
Like you don't see him talking trash like Josh Allen.
Nope.
He's not out there crazy around like Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, who's screaming and going nuts. He's definitely got a different personality, but again,
he's surfer dude.
Oh my God, he does kind of.
He's surfer dude. None of his teammates in the post game never says he's a warrior, battler. You know the terminology that most of them use for their warrior like quarterback. Not him.
Well, if it wasn't for Jordan Love just playing like yesterday,
equally bad day,
a lot of people would still be focusing on how bad Justin Herbert was, but Jordan Love, Lord, he was terrible too. Like, terrible. I mean, he wasn't Justin Herbert 4 interceptions bad. He had 3.
Yeah, 3.
And I got to say, man, I thought the Packers' defensive performance was second to none. To have that pathetic of an offense and Jordan Love to not be able to get anything done is just, in my opinion, just terrible. And again, I give all the credit in the world to the Georgia defense.
You crazy. I just picked that up. Okay.
I don't know if you know this. Do you know how many studs from Georgia are on this defense?
I'm going to take a wild stab and say 6.
All right, let's go through it. Let's see.
I know N'Kobe's out, though.
N'Kobe, by the way, I meant to mention
N'Kobe's
that.
out. Torn
Their great
patella.
linebacker, N'Kobe Dean, tore his patella tendon, right?
Yes, sir.
He's out for the rest of the playoffs. He'll probably miss the first couple weeks of the season next year, man. That's a mother, if you know what I mean.
Shout out N'Kobe and
Not
Horn Lake.
a sweet one like the one who birthed you. But, man, you got Jalen Carter, Georgia. N'Kobe Dean, Georgia. Nolan Smith, Georgia. Jordan Davis, Georgia. And don't forget Kaylee Ringo. Georgia.
So it's 5, right?
No, they also have Lewis Seen, but
6. So 6.
He's a former first-round pick that has been terrible. He's mostly now been relegated to special teams, so I didn't really want to bring him up because he's the one Georgia player who's not working out. But man, draft a bunch of dudes from the SEC and all from like Georgia. It looks like it's gonna make you a good defense. And the Philadelphia Eagles had a great defense yesterday. 3 interceptions. But Jalen Hurts looked very pedestrian yesterday. Like, if Jordan Love has a decent game, who knows what happens in this one? Saquon Barkley was awesome. But, Josh Jacobs was kind of right there. It's just they could not. Like, the Packers just cannot stop. Well, Jordan Love could not stop shooting the Packers in the face. The opportunity's ridiculous. I was shocked. Did you know the Packers had more first downs than the Eagles?
When? Yesterday?
Mm-hmm. They had 17 first downs. Eagles only had 16. They ran 3 more plays. They had more total plays. They had more yards, more pass yards. The only thing they didn't lead in rushing yards, but total yards, they had more. I mean, it just is still crazy to me. Time of possession was 50-50. It was 29 minutes and 30 seconds for the Packers, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. The only thing that was different is 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and a lost fumble. And you still only lost by 12 points. Like Jordan Love, damn, son. But the other thing is like, damn, how legit are the Eagles?
Not that legit.
I mean, I totally believe.
Not with that quarterback play.
And I will say, in his defense, he was coming off a concussion. He didn't clear concussion protocol until, I think, Friday. He hadn't been really practicing because he's in concussion protocol. But, dude, you better play better than that. Because I'm going to tell you, the winner of the Vikings and the Rams game, they're going to have a win underneath them. Both of them have real damn good quarterbacks. Not really. Okay, one of them.
Come on, there you go.
Matt Stafford's is a great quarterback. Sorry. But
the other has a great defense, though.
The Vikings have a hella defense, and they do have this dude named Justin Jefferson. And by the way, don't forget their running back. I mean, Aaron Jones ain't no slouch. Jordan Addison, no slouch. Like, they got some dudes.
Naylor.
Then, like, look over to the Rams again. Like, we talk about the Vikings. Sam Darnold scares you, but that Vikings team is good overall. They could take care of the Eagles. You look at that Rams team, you give Matt Stafford hot and Jalen Hurts is not, that could get crazy. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua ain't no joke. So, like, I'm telling you right now, the Eagles, you got to win. Your defense won you that football game. I mean, you forced 4 damn turnovers. You ain't forcing 4 turnovers against the Vikings or the Rams next week.
You may do it again. You can turn Darnold over. You ain't doing that to Stafford, though.
You ain't doing that to Matty.
You ain't doing that to Stafford. Do you think that since both teams playing domes that there I just thought about that. If either one wins, they're playing it kind of in a dome again with Arizona. Then they have to go up to cold Philly. You think that'll play a part in it?
Hell yeah, home field advantage is legit. And Philadelphia fans are as bad as Columbus fans. My Lord, did you see
they
some
throw
of the videos?
Frozen batteries.
Man, there's like some of the Philadelphia Eagle fans again. Yeah, they boot Santa Claus, throw batteries at people,
Frozen
crazy. But like there was a bunch of stuff going around yesterday. Like there was a poor lady who was just wearing her, Green Bay gear, rooting for his team, and like these men behind her were saying the most rude, vile things like I've ever heard. Like I'm like, damn, dude. Like, it's definitely not the South.
Must have been pretty bad. It made you take a pause for calls.
Dude, do you know there's one word you never call a woman, and it starts with a C?
Yes.
And they were screaming, dumb C. And I'm going, oh, my God. I'll tell you right now, they were grown men. But if they were my kid, and I don't care, like, I would yank a knot in them. Like, man,
dumb cowboys. I'm just trying to think of the C word.
Yeah. Woo, it was vicious. But that team right now, their defense looks vicious. That offense, man, Jalen Hurts, I don't know.
He ain't going to make it next week, John.
And I will also say, if you notice one thing about the NFL playoffs, running backs are crucial. We don't talk about the regular season. I mean, having a good wide receivers are so important as well. But, man, look how big Derrick Henry was this weekend. Look what James Cook did. Just look around the league. Look at what the game that Joe Mixon had. I mean, these were, like, in the playoffs, run the ball defense and good quarterback play. And you need good quarterback play because if Jordan Love or Justin Herbert show up, you ain't winning. If Russell Wilson shows up, you ain't winning. Russell actually didn't have a bad game. They just didn't, like you said, I mean, George Pickens had his 5 receptions, 87 yards, but Derrick Henry was like running right down their throat. Lamar Jackson was just kind of chilling. Like that was a very comfortable 28-14 win.
Can I double down on what Terry D said?
About what?
About the winner coming from the Bills or Ravens. I think the Super Bowl champion comes from Bills or Ravens. He said one of those teams, the winner would go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think the champ comes out of that game. They're ready, John. One of those teams has to get over the hump. If the Chiefs do this again, I'll shave my head bald. I'm going just straight off.
Man, that ain't like a big thing. Like,
I was trying to be exuberant on air.
That's pretty good, baby. I'm just saying.
I'll grow a beard. How about that? I'll try it.
Don't be Ryan Day and dine that joint. But yeah, there's just this weekend. Like when you look at the NFL, didn't have like the greatest games in the whole world until really last night. That was filthy nasty. But I'm still like right now, the Texans are going to go to the Chiefs. Right now, Kansas City is a 7.5-point favorite, and I've already bet it.
Tell me you took Houston.
No way, bro. Houston is not going to go out there and have that
You're a
defensive
quiet Chiefs
performance.
believer too, Joe.
Dude, I am a Chiefs believer.
I know.
Pat Mahomes, we talk about the greatness of Lamar Jackson. We talk about the greatness of Josh Allen. We talk about greatness of a lot of quarterbacks. And let me tell you something, though. Pat Mahomes still is the dude who wins. And if there's anybody out there, period, you got up one drive, fourth quarter, ball in hand, last person. If you go score, you're going to win. Who you want the ball to be with? Is it not Pat? Is it not Pat? And by the way, let's not Lamar's. You better shut the bleep up. Have you looked? Do you want me to start bringing out Lamar Jackson some postseason stats?
He has 2 MVPs, John.
And he has 2 playoff wins.
It's coming. It's coming.
I hope so.
One more win in the Chiefs, Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. You know who they tie for all-time playoff wins? Coach and quarterback tandem?
Probably all-time quarterback-coach tandem.
They're number 3 right now. They're going for tied for 2.
Like we know that Joe got 3 in a row. Jimmy wasn't there for the 3rd with Barry.
Look at this process of elimination.
Terry Bradshaw.
Ding! I'll stop you right there. There it is. Chuck Nolan, Terry
That's
Bradshaw.
where I was gonna go.
Because we already know who's number 1. Those Patriot guys.
Yeah, Tom Brady and Bill. Duh. But this is gonna just be the truth, and I hate to do it to you, Lamar, but I'm gonna do it. Lamar Jackson. It doesn't even matter. Realistically, the MVP. It doesn't matter how good of a regular season he's had. Lamar Jackson, it is all about this year and postseason success. Because his career record in the postseason is not very good. Not very good. And his quarterback rating is not all that great. You got to say, 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. 7 games played, 2 wins, 5 losses. I don't know about that. I love him, but it's all about for me. Do you realize last year what they did against the damn the Chiefs? The Chiefs, they didn't go out there and score a whole bunch of points. They played defense and just shut Lamar down. Now, I'll give Todd Monken a lot of, blame because he only ran the ball with his running backs 8 times, and they were the number 1 rush team in the NFL last year going into that playoff game, and they just didn't run the damn football. But Pat Mahomes, I'm taking all day, every day until the man loses. And yes, Joe Burrow got him and went to a Super Bowl.
Allen would have had him if it wasn't for those 13 seconds. You remember?
Dude,
right?
but yeah, 13 seconds, Pat Mahomes moves the ball down the field, Harrison Butker field goal, they go on to win the Super Bowl and rip the heart out of Josh Allen. And I will say, man, Josh Allen, though, Lamar Jackson, the seasons they had this year and the fact that we're going to see them go against each other in the divisional round next week is actually really exciting. I think that's going to be a crazy game. Right now, did you know that Baltimore is a 1-point favorite on the road in Buffalo?
As they should be. King Henry makes that much of a difference. He's worth a few points.
Man, do you realize how well the Bills ran the football? Listen. Joe Brady does not. Ben Johnson is a bad man, okay? Everybody talking about him, right? Joe Brady deserves some damn credit. This is a team that is like 50-50 running and throwing the football.
He's brought some balance.
Balance out the frame. And you see his record when the Bills have 50 yards rushing from their running back. And they got 120 from Cook. And a touchdown. And I had him anytime touchdown. Under 48.5. And the Buffalo Bills -8 in the same game parlay. Oh, yeah, and Josh Allen over 270 yards. Got it by 2. That was the scary one. But, man, Josh Allen, that defense is underrated. They just destroyed Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. But what about Sean Payton going balls to the walls on the first drive and then going like the most conservative offense the rest of the game? Like, was he trying not to get beat by a lot? Did he already give up?
Had a rookie QB,
I thought he called a terrible game. But I will say, man, when you don't have the football, because Buffalo had the ball for 41 minutes, that was nuts. And again, they just ran the ball right down their throat. Denver, pretty decent defense. I've been killing the Ravens all year. From the first 11 weeks of the season, the Baltimore Ravens they were almost in the bottom 24 of every single statistical category defensively. Since week 11, they're number 1.
Hopefully they prove it to you, John.
I'm also I think this is going to be a slobber knocker. I think it might be the best damn game of the postseason. We need some good games. Tampa Bay and Washington lived up.
I'm worried about tonight. I think it'll be a blowout one way or another. Not sure which way. But that neutral, like Terry D brought up, that neutral field is just kind of It should be a Rams crowd, but, who knows?
I mean,
when you travel like that, who knows?
I mean, Minnesota, their defense, they have the second best record in the NFC and then also have to go on the road. And now it's a neutral site game because of the terrible fires. But, I still just cannot get that performance against the Lions out of my mouth. I really can't. And I can also honestly say one thing. That defense, the defense for the Rams, has been pretty solid. Like, real damn solid. They held the Cardinals to 9. Now, this is the Cardinals and the Jets. They held the 49ers to 6. They've been playing pretty good, but remember, this is also a Rams team that beat Buffalo 44-42 in a damn shootout. Because one, Josh Allen is that dude, and he was having one of the best games I've ever seen in my life, but he got outdone by Matt Stafford. Sean McVay didn't play his guys last week because he didn't care about beating Seattle. I know Geno Smith is happy because he turned that game into $6 million more for himself, which is amazing. But we go back to, you just think about that Buffalo game where they won 44-42. I mean, Stafford, Nakua. By the way, Williams has been running the football too.
He's cooled off a little bit, but, the guy was scoring every week.
That young, man, I'm already talking myself into the Rams, I can tell. Holy hell, I'm so late for a break. What am I over here doing? I didn't even feel like I talked about much. I haven't even got to feel out my games yet.
You know what you're doing?
Thinking about my bet?
Well, I think it doesn't matter.
It
doesn't matter what you're doing.
Doesn't
John,
matter.
we're talking football.
We are talking football, and I'm really starting to, the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to like the Rams. That young defensive front for the Rams, have they not been good?
Yeah, they show up. It's coaching. I think he coaches them up.
Sean McVay,
yes,
hell of a coach. Matt Stafford, veteran quarterback, dope wide receivers. Kyron Williams has been running the hell out the football. Tyler Higbee, damn good tight end. Offensive line playing good. But it's that young defensive front, man. Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Bobby Brown, yeah. Braden Fisk. This is... Watch out. Jared Verse, by the way, out of Florida State. Kid's been pretty damn good, hasn't he? Yep, I already know who I like. I'll tell you exactly what our bets are going to be at the end. But we got to take a little break and have some fun because you know what we got, don't you? We got Hardwood where it just feels so damn good. And guess what we get to do today?
Talk about more Joy Taylor.
Joy Taylor, did you see the Zion Williams?
No, I didn't. That was just a stab in the dark.
Dude, I cannot wait to tell you what Zion tweeted to Joy Taylor. It's hilarious. Also, do you remember Sydney Thomas, the girl that everybody's in love with from the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, the ring girl?
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that somebody slid in her DMs?
Oh, did you?
Uh-huh. And she said it was an SEC coach. Reckless speculation will definitely be going on Hardwood because I'm going to give you my opinion on which coaches I think it was. I'm going to rank the ones most likely to slide into Sydney Thomas's DMs. And I will say right now, a couple people at the Sissy's Log Cabin text and listener line, life's too short for ordinary jewelry, the number 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Hit me with your rankings on most likely SEC football coach that slid into the DMs. And we're talking head dudes. Like a lot of people off the jump, one already texted me and said Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is in a committed relationship. He has quit drinking, and he's so comfortable in his life that his ex-wife moved to Oxford. Lane, I don't think sliding in Sydney Thomas. I'm also a big Ole Miss fan, and I love Lane Kiffin. But a lot of people saying, Lane, I think you're wrong. I think about another former. Do y'all remember the former Ole Miss football coach that I believe used the... Was it 12 times that he called hookers Hugh Freeze?
Numerous. Just say numerous.
Oh, my gosh. I got a text that says Tony V. No, not baseball coaches. These are just SEC head football coaches. But, dude, Tony V, if he slid into her DMs, you know what? She wouldn't have said anything. We've already seen Tony V have Sydney Thomas on his arm because whatever Tony V wants, Tony V gets. Damn, I'm late for a break. Hardwood next. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports
2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one in Jaguar Land Rover, Bluff City.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Fall is football at the Owners Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, it's happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all travel meals, $5 off meal drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and pretzels, mozzarella sticks, queso, $4 a day. Friday night lights from 7 o'clock. Dining in my grill, Wednesday, 5 for free. Watch college football every pro game. All the Owners Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, fall is football.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. Yeah! We got Monday Night Football wild card action. Vikings, Rams, 7 o'clock. You can catch all the action right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. Man, I'm so excited because I get to talk about one of the hottest women in the whole world, Sydney Thomas. In fact, right now, 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. Hit me up at the Sissy Law Cabin text and listener line. Sydney Thomas or Sydney Sweeney. You know which Sydneys I'm talking about? You know the Sydney Sweeney girl? Like, I don't know if she even acts. I've never even seen her in a movie, but I have seen a lot of pictures of her.
Like Thomas
say
and
she's an
Sweeney?
actress. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, man.
Dude,
I'm stuck on
so
Chelsea Clinton, remember?
Dude, Butterface. Nah, she ain't Butterface. She's like everything, like just, no. I'm a little bit worried about you right now, to be honest.
I love it when you take digs at Chelsea.
I mean, I am so, okay, here we go. Sydney Thomas or Sydney Sweeney. I knew it. Somebody already put this on Twitter where I'm going to tweet this out so you can look. They're not the best pictures of the ladies, but they're both, you can tell, voluptuous. They could have worked at Hooters, no problem. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, do we still have Hooters?
Yes, one downtown near the FedEx Forum.
That one's still going?
Still going.
They took the one off of Winchester, didn't they?
No, they did, didn't they? I don't know about the one in Winchester, but I know Wolf Chase has one. Then I know there's one again in Horn Lake too. They get Buck in the one in Horn Lake.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Look, I just retweeted Johnny_radio, Sydney Thomas or Sydney Sweeney. Swing, bada. Also, hit me up and let me know what you think about which SEC coach is the most likely coach that slid into her DMs. I'll give you my rankings and my reasons in just a minute. But I got to remind you, do you know, like, everybody wants a perfect finish, right? Like, you think to yourself, man, like, if you do something, you don't want to do it half-assed, do you? Why do it at all if you're going to do a half-assed job? Well, if you actually paint something, especially if it's metal, right off the jump, you're doing a half-assed job. Because you don't need to paint. It's 2025. You don't paint, you powder coat. Anything metal, automotive, ornamental, patio furniture, you name it, you got it. You go to Rick's Powder Coating. In fact, go to rickspowdercoating.com and check it out. See how unbelievable they are. And when you think of a perfect finish, always think of that perfect finish every single time because it's at Rick's Powder Coat. And plus, it's science. You know what I mean? It doesn't rust, doesn't chip. You don't have to go back like in a couple years and be like, man, I need to repaint this. No, it's awesome. rickspowdercoating.com. Check them out. Let's go to Hardenwood.
This is SS Hardenwood.
Which coach is most likely to slide into the DMs of Sydney Thomas? If you did not know, Sydney Thomas, ring girl from the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. She has gone on to become one of the most popular women on my X feed and Instagram. And everybody and their grandmother is in love with this woman. But she came out and revealed during a little podcast experience. She was, I don't know what podcast she was on, damn it. Because I didn't listen to it. I just read all the kickback, you know what I'm saying? The dust up. And all the people out there who are ranking the coaches, like which coach was most likely. Because she just said, like, they were asking her, you know, what's it like? You know, like, what was your life like before the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight? And I'm not going to lie to you. She's a perfect 10. It wasn't like it was bad. You know what I mean? This ain't Hawk Tua girl spit on that thing. Like, she's not a 2 who just had a great thing that every man in the world loves. No, every man in the world loves her, and she didn't even have to speak.
Yeah, I see your tweet.
You see it, dude? Which one, Sydney Thomas or Sydney Sweeney? They're both so fine.
Now, if the pictures correlate, Thomas is on the left, Sweeney on the right?
Yes.
All right, Thomas, baby.
Man, Sydney Thomas.
I'm going to say it one more time, Thomas.
Sydney Thomas. Now, here's the thing. She revealed that a SEC coach slid into her DMs. And I'm going to ask you a question right now. Who do y'all think it was?
I think it was Chip Kelly. I mean, not Chip, Brian Kelly with that southern accent. Was it?
Man, he tried to do a southern accent. I don't think it's Brian Kelly because this man gave up $1 million of his own money to the NIL fund because he had a poor year down in Baton Rouge, and he better come back swinging hard because the team he left is playing in the college football national championship in Notre Dame, and he left Notre Dame saying that you can't consistently win at Notre Dame because you can't get the type of athletes. blah, 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 blah. Well, now he's got egg on his face, and I think he better keep his thing in his pants and stop looking on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. And don't be sliding in no girls' DMs, man. You got work to do because they will fire your ass down in Cajun country. So, no, I don't think it was Brian Kelly.
Wow, you let Brian Kelly have it.
And I don't think it was Lane Kiffin. I already told you the man hadn't had a drink in years.
I mean, his
He's
nickname
Bill
is Lane
W.
Train,
Dr.
right?
Bob, 12-stepping that joint all the way to his righteousness. And he's got a daughter about Sidney Thomas's age. And I will tell you, as somebody who has a daughter the same age, I am not doing as well as Lane. If you can't tell, I'm objectifying women on the radio.
Them white boots from...
I'm ranking them. But I'm not Lane. I'm not as good as him, and I don't think it was Lane. Some people out there are saying it's Hugh Freeze for sure. He's the only one creepy enough to actually DM her on IG. I kind of agree with that one. I like that one. I mean, and again, Hugh Freeze, like he's one of those guys who obviously doesn't really think before he speaks. You've heard his pressers. Him blaming people and saying calls. Like, remember when him and his quarterback, Peyton Thorne, were basically calling each other a liar? Do you remember that this season? My man don't think before he speaks. And he used his cell phone, his Ole Miss cell phone, to call prostitutes on 12 occasions. Bro,
on company time.
burner phone. He's like Bill Clinton that one day. Like he's like got some serious meeting, like 15 minutes, and he's like, I don't think I can focus if I don't get, I got a bus. Going out there and just running into a kind of a chunky little intern in Monica Lewinsky. I think Hugh's on that same kind of level. You know? It's true. Like, I mean, he's a dirty old man. And by the way, man, Briarcrest people, you don't even need to start texting me. I already know. I know, trust me. Like, a lot of people went to Briarcrest back in the day, they already knew, man. They were like, hey, he's a little creepy, man.
Briarcrest, I already had the heads up.
They already had the heads up, dog. Please. But I'm going to ask you. Like, I don't think it's Sark. He's not drinking again, people. Like, I mean, I like...
Allegedly.
I don't think he is. I love all these, but I'm going to ask you real quick. Have you ever seen anybody willing to risk more than Bobby Petrino?
Oh, no.
You remember that red face and neck brace? Bobby Petrino with a blonde on a motorcycle.
A motorcycle.
Did Bobby learn his lesson? There's certain things that men, they can burn themselves once, they can burn themselves twice, and it doesn't matter. They'll continue to burn themselves the rest of the damn life because that is their kryptonite, their weakness. Whenever the small head takes over the big head, that man is your kryptonite. Yes, sirree, Bob, and I can definitely see Sidney Thomas. By the way, she wore red. She's blonde. Bobby likes blondes and reds. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Bobby's got to be up on that list. What do you think?
Yeah, he got a little leeway this time. He's not a head coach, so
He's not a head coach.
so he can go for it this time.
Hey, dude, Sam Pittman's too fat. He ain't even going to try. He's kind of big. He's kind of goofy. Like, hey, Bobby, you can play head coach today and slide into her DMs and just tell her the head coach because she ain't going to know anything about Arkansas football because they hadn't been good in a long damn time. Darren McFadden, Felix Jones ain't running through that door. By the way, man, remember Clint Stoner? Clint Stoner? I think it was Stoner. I called him Stoner. He had to be a stoner to drop that football for Tennessee. You remember that at all? Oh, Lord. I mean, it's got to be Hugh Freeze, I feel like.
1998.
It's got to
Tennessee
be
versus Alabama.
It's got to be Hugh Freeze, but I've never seen anybody risk more than Bobby Petrino. So they're up there. I want to know what y'all think about Sidney Thomas. Where are your rankings? Like, for me, in all honesty, when I do the Sidney Thomas ranking system on coaches, am I going Freeze or Petrino first?
Freaky Freeze.
I think I'm going Freaky Freeze too. Bobby Petrino second. I'll tell you one thing. I definitely could see my boy Stoops. Stoops over at Kentucky. I mean, think about it. He basically, like, he's been there for so damn long. Like, he's been with the same program. He's been with the same woman. My man's tired of eating oatmeal every day for breakfast. He wanted a little French toast. And plus, it's a basketball school. He just feels like, if he does this and it comes out, like, who's going to care? Like, dude, I am not even that important. By the way, Mark Stoops and Mark Stoops and Mark Pope are two totally different people. Like, I can see Mark Stoops all up in the DMs of Sidney Thomas. Mark Pope, did you see what he did this weekend?
Now, I saw that.
You did see it?
Yeah, him going up the stairs.
Bro,
that's what you're getting at?
First and foremost, that was a huge win.
Oh, yeah.
They went on the road and they beat Mississippi State. Mississippi State is damn good. Damn good. Seeing them against Memphis, good.
He did something Cal would never do.
Dude went on the road, got a huge win, came out to, I guess, say, like, thank you for traveling to Starkville to all the Kentucky faithful after the ball game.
The congratulatory wave to the
And
crowd.
congratulatory wave and all this stuff and handshake everybody. And he looked up in there and there was a young handicapped person in there. A little girl, right?
Nope, it was a guy.
It was a little guy.
The girl was was filming.
The girl was filming. Okay, yeah. Man, I watched this a while ago, and again, I've been in
I'm with
Tito's
you,
all
baby.
weekend. And he goes up there and just, like, ingratiates and takes time out of his day to go give love to that fan who came in there and saw him. And I just was like, man, I like the Pope. I really like him.
In depth, he got up the stairs. The guy was in the handicap chair. He pulled up a chair, popped a squat, and stayed up there 6 minutes talking to that fan.
That was awesome. And again, that ain't Mark Stoops. I definitely could see him sliding in Cindy Thomas's DMs. What do you think about Eli Drinkwitz? Eli's kind of that sneaky slide name too, bro.
I was thinking of sneaky and slide. I think about Heupel.
Dude, Heupel's too fat. Heupel
bad.
knows his limitations. Heupel probably wouldn't be comfortable going and talking to a 2, even though he's a millionaire. You
think he's that guy?
Bro, his neck, he let it go. I mean, this is a guy who won a Heisman Trophy, played quarterback at Oklahoma. And, like, my man hasn't said no to a buffet since that day.
Say his neck.
Bro, like, that's like it looks like that's just, woo. Man. Like, I can't think about what they are, but there's, like, some animal that pops its neck out. And
A turtle.
Nah, maybe. Oh, yeah, I think they do that. But his is just terrible. We'll get back to which coach it is. I think it's got to be Freeze. Second, again, Bobby Petrino's willing to risk it all. Sorry, texters. I do not think it was Lane. Even though Lane's always on Twitter and great with social media, I think he knows his limitations. Like, he's not going to go out there with a daughter his own age, like her age. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just not. That ain't Lane's game. Plus, Lane's got to get out there and win the big one, man. Let's get it going. We got to take a break. Dadgummit. That's why you turn the music off, isn't it?
Yeah, you need a podcast.
I'm going to take a quick time out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll give you my play of the day on the other side, right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Sometimes you just want to make fast, like the fun that comes from a quick and nimble 2024 Honda CB500F. This amazing style streetlights with a narrow 471cc twin, along with a sleek GT display, dual disc front brakes, and standard ABS, all at a affordable price. Find phone all-weather Lexus of 2024 Honda CB500F, available at DeSoto Honda, 5656 William Road, Olive Branch.
Ever have one of those days where your gut just feels blah?
Ugh, yes.
Occasional bloating or gas could be signs that your gut is out of balance. But Align Probiotic can help. Align 24/7 Digestive Support is a daily use probiotic with a unique strain to help relieve occasional digestive issues. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand. So when you feel the signs, it's time to try Align. Align Probiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit BinswangerGlass.com. Binswanger Glass.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Monday. We got a little Vikings-Rams action tonight. Fired up. Did have some texts. Had a lot of great texts. We've been ranking the coaches most likely to slide into Sidney Thomas's DMs. Right now, Hugh Freeze is definitely leading. He is the top vote getter currently. I just think that's wonderful. One texter also did come in there and say, try to chill me out a little bit on how bad Justin Herbert was. He completed 44% of his passes. He was terrible. He had 4 interceptions. One texter did say, though, 2 of the interceptions weren't his fault. Dissly's fault. Will Dissly was trash. And you know what? I'll say that you could say 2 of them were his fault. The other 2 were also, though, Justin Herbert's fault. And the fact that he just hadn't got it done in the postseasons, it's just something that's going to stick with him until he fixes it. Sticking with Lamar Jackson right now. We're going to see Lamar and Josh Allen go at it next week over there in the divisional round. Fired up about that. But, man, we've been talking football all day, and you know what we're doing right now. We're betting. Vikings at the Rams right now. Vikings are -2.5. I have oh my gosh. You know, I'm scared to death that one game is going to beat me twice. And I did pick last Sunday, like an idiot, I took Minnesota. Because I thought to myself, there is no way that banged up defense is going to stop Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. Like, it ain't going to happen. I'm like, this is going to get nasty. This is going to get ugly. This is going to be ridiculous. And Detroit Lions mollywopped them. Well, guess what? That Rams defensive front is better than that daggum Lions. Them young bucks are coming. You better watch out for Jared Verse. I'm just saying right now, I really like me the Rams. I like the fact that I got Matt Stafford. I mean, come on now. Dude, I think Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp go absolutely AWOL. Kyron Williams runs roughshod. I like the Rams to win, and I'm even thinking to myself, I might change the line and do something like Rams -3 at plus money, babe. I know it's not a true home game, but, man, Minnesota was exposed for who they are. You are who we thought you were. Vikings, you're frauds. Sam Darnold, you are not the truth. Vikings, Rams, tonight it's playoffs, and Sam Darnold is going to have shrinkage, and you know what Matt Stafford does. Hoo-wee, boy. You better watch out. For Darian, I'm John. Get out there, make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.